All right. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this call. I can see Imole Adeshola Afokogene, our Esther. I see another Esther Ibia, Henry, Itoropo, Jennifer, Lydia Nkata, Naomi, Lurat Lawal, um, and Ugochinyere Okike. So, yeah, today we are going to start early. I'm starting right away. We are going to continue with the large language model. This is the part two. We did part one, and next week we are going to be going deeper. I want to do this systematically because I want to kind of help all of us. When we think about this AI thing, it's kind of here and there. You hear a lot of things. You're going to see how gradually we are going to make it relatable to everyday life. Some of the things you've already been seeing in social media, how people go about that and everything. So the approach we are using is of just, kind of flooding you guys with machine learning, this and that. So I'm systematically, starting off with large language model, which is actually the major breakthrough in the area of AI recently. We are now going to kind of use it to permeate other areas, and you see how they relate to each other. So we started off talking about some of them last week. Let's just do a kind of small recap. So last week, a minute. So confirm that the slide is moving. Imole, please, before I continue. Am I very clear? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
All right. So again, we need to remind ourselves of our objective. If you don't meet this objective, you are wasting your time here. Please always remind yourself of why you need to leave everything you are doing to come here. We're going to keep on realizing what AI can do, and we'll keep on exploring what we can make AI do through the tasks I'm giving you people. I'm going to, kind of go through the tasks review. I think I need to make some corrections here. I've already last session of the class. All right, so again, the class is very simple. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 7 to 8:30. Can you still hear me? Why am I seeing?
You are breaking kind of.
Okay, let me switch network. Just so let me pause the recording. Okay. So our class is usually Tuesdays and Thursdays to 7 to 8:30. So here we are. Right. So I want us to do some little recap, right? Please, I want this class to be a little interactive. This is an icebreaker. So who can tell me what LLM means? Just a recap. You can raise your hand, I'll call you. LLM. What is the meaning of LLM? Nobody's raising hand. Okay, yeah, I forgot again. Just I hope I pronounced it well. You can unmute.
You did.
Okay.
So LLM stands for large language model.
Okay, nice. All right, so looking at this picture, thank you very much for that. Very correct. Nothing to add. There is a place labeled A and B in the whole idea of large language model. So what does A stand for and what does B stand for? You can raise your hand and I'll call you. Who can guess what A stands for and B stands for? Anybody? Nobody wants to help me. I want to make sure that I am talking with human beings and not ghosts. Wait, is it that we don't know it or we okay? Type it in the chat. Okay, Ujuma Princess, you can unmute and speak.
Okay, I think the just want to try. A should be the encoder and B is the decoder.
Okay, exactly. A is the encoder and B is the decoder. Okay. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, the A is the encoder and B is the decoder. I talked about this last week. This is how everything works when you give a prompt. It breaks it into not breaks it, actually transform it from natural language, which is English language, all of us know that one, to Martha say A stands for apple and B stands for book. Interesting. So what we are going to do now is to, I think, is there any other one? Okay, yes. So what is the full meaning of ChatGPT? I think this one is sorry, GPT, not ChatGPT. Full meaning of GPT. Yeah, I have a hand of Ujunwa again, Princess. Yeah, like rescue today. Oh yeah, go ahead.
So ChatGPT is it stands for generative retrain
Pre-trained. Hello.
transformers.
Okay, pre-trained transformer. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. I think you deserve a prize today. So I owe you one. Imole, take notes. It's not easy to muster the courage to speak up. So yeah, I want the class to be kind of interactive. So yeah, so if you look at this whole thing, just to remind us, because we are still in the session treating LLM. LLM is large language model, meaning that there's we used huge amount of data, which is like text, okay, to pre-train a transformer. A transformer is an AI or machine learning algorithm. So what the transformer does is breaks text, it doesn't really break text, it takes the full context. So that when somebody asks a question, it will be able to guess the best next line of item. We show the example of if you say Obi is, okay, it will bring all the words that is possibly going to follow that Obi is, because it's analyzing Obi is together. Okay, it's not breaking it up. So what is the next thing? Okay, is it the quick brown falls jump over the lazy dog? So that kind of thing. So now, in the same way, a lot of people have written a lot of text, a lot of article, journals. So what it does is that it goes to the internet and gets all those things. So the idea is that whatever you are looking for, there has been a context in the past. So when you ask it a question, for instance, say generate a business proposal for like marketing something like let me just say fish, for instance, okay? It goes, there's what they call deep. I'm going to show you some of these things. So now it is pre-trained. That's what the P is doing there. You understand? It's already pre-trained, okay? It is pre-trained to guess what you want and it's going to complete it for you. If you want it short, it is going to develop. So the short and the long and set deep is now like people using programming to direct it on what to do. Okay, so that's the GPT. So ChatGPT is just is a product from a company called OpenAI. Okay, I don't want to tell you guys about the history and all that because it's going to deviate some of the things we are doing in this class. So one more thing, okay, who can name the popular LLM tools, especially the ones we did or even the ones we did not do? Guess you can type it in the chat as well if you wish.
Please, we
Okay.
did Germany
Yes.
and Chat GPT.
Nice. Gemini, ChatGPT. Ujunwa again.
And the ones we didn't.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's Judy too.
Okay, Judith, go ahead.
Okay, the other one. The other we haven't done are cloud
Okay,
and
nice.
um is it perplexity?
You know, it's coming up. It's coming up. Ujunwa, your hand is up again.
Yes. So we did about 7, maybe 6. ChatGPT, Gemini, and then we've not done Perplexity, Claude AI, DeepSeek, and DeepSeek Copilot,
Okay.
Meta AI that you showed us.
Don't worry, you have covered everything. So okay, so yeah, these are LLM tools. Okay, I think we are learning, you understand. So when you have some of these tools, somebody might be comparing Notion to Gemini. Somebody might be comparing Midjourney. Oh, I heard there's one Midjourney, I heard there's one. So those are not really LLMs, right? You guys are going to see some of the relationship, but the bedrock of the recent AI that is making the round is LLMs, large language model. Now, let me tell you why this is very interesting, dangerous, if you may, and a lot of people are having concerns about the future of work and everything, whether you like it or not. Let me tell you why this is very, very interesting and why you need to pay attention, especially to LLMs. You know that we humans, okay, who can tell me the difference between, I think I talked about it, the human species and every other creature? What's the difference? Let's make it interactive. What's the difference?
We are
Instinct.
thinking creatures.
Instinct. Yes.
Thinking, right?
Judith is saying we are thinking creatures. Yes, other
Instinct.
animals don't think.
Other animals
Yes.
don't think. Very
And they
good.
don't even have emotions too.
Yes. We have
Are you
instinct.
sure?
Humans have instinct and ability to take decision discretional in nature.
Okay, that's Samuel. Okay, but I think animals have emotion. Have you seen an angry dog before? Yes. Actually,
Uh,
Go ahead.
No,
but I
I
thought
heard that.
adults are supposed to be angry.
I
Okay,
heard
if you want
that
to.
animals don't think, and I think that one is kind of weird.
Okay, share your thoughts. Share your thinking.
Okay.
I think it's kind of weird to say that animals don't think because that's I stand to disagree. Let's take the ants for instance, right? We see how the ants gather themselves and build a colony, build a hive, just like the bees too. So there's a lot of thinking that goes into the architectural structure of their home. So saying that animals don't think, that's a kind of far-fetched for me.
Hmm.
That's my thoughts.
Okay, I think you have a point there. In fact, I was going to even kind of disagree with the person that said they don't have feelings because, sorry, emotion. Because when you see a happy dog playing and see an angry one, nobody could tell you say the emotions are not the same. You understand? They show sometimes animal can show dogs, for instance, can show sadness. You understand? When you come and the thing shines it for you in an angry way, it's different from when they are when they are happy. You just telling you, this is not the time. Oh. Okay, Samuel, you have your hand up.
Yes. I think the major difference is what I call it, instinct or discretion. Discretion, ability.
Okay, discretion. Okay, so Judith, you want to say something? I can't hear Samuel again.
Of
Okay.
course, they have feelings
I also
and
want
the
to
like.
say that animals don't have shame. Do they have shame? Do
They
they
don't
feel
have shame.
ashamed? I don't think they don't show shame. Do they?
Oh, what? Oh, you need
I've
to be
seen
a
a shy dog.
comedian.
Shy animal.
Yes. I have one here, very shy dog.
Oh, they don't have shame. Are you serious? Well, I'm hearing this for the first
Yes,
time,
so
Sha.
they don't have shame. Oh, the animal is shameless.
Okay,
They are
so
laughing.
okay, it's okay, it's okay. Let's I think with this Judy soul, I think I can end the discussion. Yeah. If I hear if I hear something I will not be able to explain. Okay, so one of the things that make us different from others is complex brain. Animals have brain, they can think, See, when a tiger wants to attack you, what do you think they do? They bend down. Why are they bending down if they don't have, thinking faculty? They bend down so that the grass will cover them, even though sometimes the grass does not really cover them, understand? So they kind of slow down and listen, before they attack you. Sometimes they've calculated the speed, you understand, and they know exactly how to go about it. If you doubt me, ask cats in the house versus rats. There are even rats, sometimes you set trap for a rat, the rat understand that this is exactly a trap and I have to be careful in eating this fish. It's go and eat it round. I don't know whether you have seen. In fact, in my office recently, those that
You are
have
right,
it,
sir. You are very right.
I set trap for rats. Okay. By the time I come in the next day, I did not see all the food items, and I did not see any rats. So somehow, probably he recognizes the color. This yellow gum, he recognizes the color and it was able to just go pick. Maybe he's even leaning to just pick some of those things. And so somehow they think, but what they might not be able to do is to, example, organize a class like this. Okay, build softwares, even though they can do architectures, kind of, if you look at ants, but that's just ants. But human being can do almost everything because our brain is complex, right? The differentiation between the Homo sapiens and every other, as biology says, is the advanced brain. Our brain is developed very well. You can see most of us are in school studying different things, mathematics, thinking about how to build aircraft and stuff like that. And most of the time, these things are communicated. That is another thing. And they are not communicated in a very timid, what I call primitive, yes. Animals communicate primitively, like a dog. How many sounds can he make? You understand? It's similar, cats and everything, even monkeys and stuff. It's only human beings that have a vocal cord that can do magic with our voice. You can see, if I'm from Chinese, the way I'll be speaking is different from the way, American, even English, right? If you listen to an American speak English, it's different from someone from London, so why this is interesting, okay, now let's get serious, is that our operating system is language. And that is why it is always a problem in the world. Most of the world conflicts, people, the primitive way of identifying yourself is the language you speak. In as much as it shouldn't even be a problem, but whether people like it or not is a problem. Okay, it's a problem because you will see people talking and somehow these other people switch language so that others will not understand what they are saying. So you could see that somehow communication, complex communication is different from, ordinary communication. So why machine learning is becoming dangerous, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not reasoned it this way, is because of large language model. Somehow, computer is beginning to break into our operating system, because I could refer to language as the way a computer has an operating system, right? What is our operating system? Because when you talk about a computer, it's all about taking data, processing it, different kinds of instructions, languages, and giving other. So before now, computers have to rely entirely on human algorithm and we have to give it specific. That's when you begin to hear something like garbage in and garbage out, something like that. But what we are experiencing now, and it's happening in your time, and the earlier you open up and accept it that is happening in your time, the better for you. And again, that's the reason why we're having this class. It is happening in your time that computer is beginning to understand our operating system. Okay, before now I can be gisting with someone, even if the computer records whatever we are saying, it's going to be very difficult for it to kind of understand what we're saying, but not today. If computer records what you're saying, it can translate it into text, and it can translate it into text and it can understand. So there is that level of intelligence now, and that's why they call it artificial intelligence. And there hasn't been much of a breakthrough, in a very, very dramatic and exponential way, until the only thing that man is holding, which is language, text, voice, whatever you call it, any means of communication, the computer is able to now break it using this LLM and GPTs. GPT is an generative, is actually an architecture of a machine learning algorithm. It's called generative pre-trained transformer. Ladies and gentlemen, I talked last week about how many parameters this transformer is using. It started with little, hundreds. It went to tens of thousands. It went to millions. It went to hundreds of millions. It went to billions. Now, I am talking about somebody, I don't know, if you do your research, just ask what's you will see something like GPT-1, the research now is crazy. There is a race for this transformer. People are beginning to, you have DeepSeek. So what you are seeing on the screen, I just give you a background. So once there is a breakthrough, a lot of companies that has enough money to pay for researchers started, what you see on the screen, everybody's fighting. They want to know who is the ultimate in this LLM, because LLM has broken what human beings could refer to as our own operating system. Because I can call somebody, dog cannot call anybody on the phone. Monkeys cannot do conferences, to discuss climatic, understand. So, but guess what? What if what we are afraid now is that we're going into anyway, let me not mention it because that one is scary. Let's focus on. So where we are today, it has broken that. So this large one, we're talking about billions of parameters. Imagine an equation with 1 billion unknown that is able to solve. So it is so powerful. And one thing that is scary about this thing, it does it at a very fast pace. So what you are seeing on the screen is that companies are investing money and they are competing. So it's not even stopping anytime soon, okay? it is going to keep on metamorphosing, it's going to keep on transforming, right? So you will see that GPT-5, GPT-0, you have GPT-1, GPT. Now, the one I paid for is GPT-5. I'm sure before the end of this year, you might hear GPT. The rate, the speed of this research is, alarming. So now the logos you see here are there are other ones, but these ones are globally key players in this whole LLM. So we explored some of them, and we are going to kind of look at others, because one thing I want you to realize, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to what I'm going to say. Remember when our parents went to grammar schools? When you finish grammar school, you can get a job, because they call it standard 6, if you remember. Do you know why they can get a job? Because English language, just understanding English language is enough to put you in the ministry, because you are now like what would I call it? An interface between the colonial masters and the ordinary people, because you could hear the local language and you can as well hear English language. So some of you might be wondering why you have this one grammar school, this one grammar school, scattered all over the country. You have in Lagos, you have in Enugu, you have in Anambra, and all that. So those grammar schools where they teach English language. But civilization continued to change. It's no longer enough. You begin to have like specialization, ministry. You needed that. You cannot just speak English now. You need accountants as well. Remember, those in grammar school, those that went to grammar school can equally train other people to understand English. At some point, you started needing accountants, started needing people that can solicit and all that. Professions started growing. At some point, you needed to get employed and all that. So as civilization continued, the university started trickling in. So standard 6 was not enough. Okay, you needed to go to university to specialize in certain courses, because things are changing. You see a lot of people. That's why you see a lot of people that studied law at a very. In fact, there are some people that their great grandparents are lawyers. There are some people that the first person that went to school was just recent, but there are some communities that great grandparents are lawyers. They went abroad, they studied, and they came back and all that. So after some time, what started happening is that we began to specialize. Now we're talking about medical doctors and everything. So now, if you talk about, please follow this story. If you come at the point where people are becoming medical doctors and you are boasting that you can speak English language, people will be looking at you, are you okay? But there was a time when you can boast that you can speak English language, right? So we continued somehow, we started studying business, and you started using typewriters and stuff like that. People that use typewriter are what I would refer to in Nigeria as people that use something that looks like a machine that can work, because you can type something. So if you say you could type and everything, you are like at the highest cadre. I don't know how many of you witnessed the era of proliferation of business centers, where people began to learn computer. You can brag yourself, you can brag and say, I am a computer literate. At that point, I use Excel, I use PowerPoint and everything. Everybody's clapping for you. I don't know how many people can actually say, I am computer literate in their CV, and people will clap for you today. So what I'm saying is, see, things are changing. And believe it or not, there was a time people, for them to calculate sine 90 or log 0.5, they use what they call 4-figure table. There was no calculator. They use 4-figure table, they traced it and everything. In my time, I never used 4-figure table. Calculator was introduced in my time, but not scientific. Scientific was introduced when I was almost writing my WAEC. So you need to ask yourself, the people that wrote WAEC in the 60s, what kind of calculator did they use? Okay, so of course, I was among those. Popo, there was one calculator called Popo. It was like, right now, it's not even coming up as first 10, but Popo was like scientific calculator. I don't know how many of you use Popo, but I use Purple to write my work. Okay. After some time, there's what they call Casio FM. I can't remember the Casio. When I entered year one, I saw Casio. Then year two, there's another Casio that came that could, at the end of the day, these things kept changing. And at some point, it was like, okay, now it's no longer I'm computer literate. Now, like, I can use Excel, I can use Microsoft Word, I can use this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, here is another shift of paradigm that is happening before everyone. If in the next Casio FX9, God bless you, Ade Boyega, sorry, if I didn't pronounce it very well. So, wisdom. So, you people, whether you like it or not, you will be judged according to the AI tools you know how to use in the next 5-10 years. So congratulations to those that have actually embraced it now. You cannot run away from it. Okay? So you better kind of prepare. AI is not going anywhere. If you doubt me, take these companies that is on the screen looking at you now, go and check how much they are investing in AI today. That will show you that they have not even scratched the surface. And be that as it may, they are even competing. So it's going to get crazy very fast. Now, what we are going to take home today, because every day there should be an objective, you people will begin to see that these things are actually the same. So we are going to move from computer literacy to AI literacy, so that you begin to migrate, because at the end of the day, you will see that, this is the thing, I can do. When they present, for instance, if you have used calculator before, right? Even if you download any calculator app on your phone, it's not going to be difficult for you to operate. Trust me, that thing you took for granted, somebody will collect calculator, he will not know what to press. Do you know why? The difference is because you have used different kinds of calculator, you know how it works. So there's no calculator you give to me now, I need to. And it's beginning to happen in phones. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that your toddlers, I don't know how many of you have observed it, your toddlers have not even started walking, know how to navigate your phone and know the icon. No matter where you hide the game, they will go and locate it. Unless you have not locked your phone with password. If you have locked your, unless you locked your phone with password. But if you give it to them, right, they will navigate and find that icon. They know colors. So they know the one that is important from experience. I am talking about, I'm serious. I'm talking about toddlers, right? When I was a toddler, I wear only pants and I'm just moving from one place to the other. I didn't have shame. Somebody say shame. At that time, I didn't have shame. We were like we just the waka. We didn't even know what shame was at that point. You understand? So compare me when I was like that, when I started learning how to walk, and somebody right now, you see a huge gap. This person even knows what icon is. The person has not started talking. They operate phone, go and locate this thing. So what am I saying? I am saying that there is going to be a new wave. The people that are coming after you, know they smile. Oh, I am telling you people. I don't even know the generation after Gen Z. I don't know. Is there have they been given a name?
Generation
Gen
Alpha.
Alpha.
Alpha. Okay, Alpha. Okay. You people are seeing Gen Alpha. Okay, thank you, Neka. You people are even complaining about Gen Z. Gen Alpha is the AI generation, oh, because a lot of people that complain about Gen Z and all that, see, you don't blame them. What you see is what you get. So imagine somebody that is in Gen Alpha and I'm telling the person about four-figure table, how I used to. The person will say, what the heck, what are you even talking about? So for us, what we are saying is that Gen Alphas will be, they will be aborigines like original people, okay? It is paradoxical, but just listen to what I'm trying to say. They are the aborigine because AI was born in their era, so they inherited it naturally. We are migrants. I don't know. I have to just put it this way. We are migrants because we are struggling to, okay, transit to the tech era. So we are currently in Industry 4.0, moving to Industry 5.0. Industry 4.0 is marked by what we call cyber physical system. Okay, let me just quickly run through different industrial revolution. Industrial revolution, first industrial revolution is called Industry 1.0. So when I say Industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, just understand what I'm trying to say. That was when they invented the steam engine, okay, that was driven by hot water. So you use coal and burn, of course, you hear of locomotive engine, produce the first train. That led to, boom in the labor world, and it created a lot of problem, and they started writing the labor laws, which is now, we now have weekends and all those kind of things, but I'm not here to teach history. After some time, coal was no longer sustainable. They discovered liquid fuel, and instead of external combustion engine, we went to internal combustion engine. What's the difference between external and internal? External is that you needed coal to boil water called steam. So it is steam that is driving the engine. So the coal is not inside the engine. The coal is outside the engine. The coal, charcoal, wood, and everything. So they boil the heat. So what is called internal combustion engines, that the chemical itself now is inside the engine. And it is the chemical also that is driving the engine part. So that's what you call internal combustion engine. The likes of it was fuel, sorry, petrol, what we call petrol today, diesel and stuff like that. So the chemical themselves produce it, and with their heat, they can drive the shafts and convert mechanical energy to kinetic energy anyway. So with that, there was also within the period invention of what? Electricity. So the second industrial revolution was marked by another set of energy, okay? And one of the things that people remember very, very well, if you talk about what is the most significant invention in the second industrial revolution, is electricity by Thomas Edison and Tesla. Now we move to the third industrial revolution. Because of electricity that was discovered in the second industrial revolution, we went to what we call computing system. Because there have been mechanical devices like abacus, Pascaline, and blah, 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 that does all the calculation. But specifically, when you talk about IT, you're talking about electronic device. If there was no invention of electricity, there would be no computer, because that's why if your battery dies, otilo. If the life of the laptop dies, there must be, electrical energy in the whole thing we call computer. Is driven by electrons and all that. So the invention in the third industrial revolution was the computing system. Okay, and it's actually metamorphosed into the internet space and everything. So fast forward to today, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the fourth industrial revolution. This fourth industrial revolution is marked by what I call cyber-physical interaction. Cyber-physical system is made up of two things, cyber and physical, meaning we are currently experiencing two worlds. Okay, some people call alternate universe, but there are two worlds now. The world you can see and the world you cannot see. I don't know if anybody has opened eyes before and see how data is leaving WhatsApp from one phone to another phone. People are chatting, people are sending SMS, and you cannot see it with your eyes, right? So if you are in a university and enter a classroom and people are waiting for lecturers, almost everybody is on their phone chatting. But a lot of data is being exchanged, but you cannot see it with your naked eye, but you can see the phone, you can see the individual, you can see everything. So right now, we cannot do with the world that we cannot see. I trust you, trust me, If internet goes down in Nigeria for one day, everywhere will be on fire. Internet is too much. I remember there was a day Facebook went down. Only Facebook. Facebook went down for, was it 1 hour or 2 hours? Even me, I'm talking about people. I won't run mad because I didn't know how much Facebook meant to me until that event happened. So we are now in the cyber physical, era. That's Industry 4.0. But we are gradually migrating. And one of the things this era has brought is this idea of AI. Because AI has taken over. And people are now investing. I told you there's AI platform. People are now investing in algorithms because all this thing, Perplexity, Cloud, Copilot, Meta, DeepSeek. Remember, I used the word model, large language model. People are investing in model. As far as that model can solve a problem, models are beginning to replace human beings in very, very key positions in the industry. Now, don't be replaced. Also, I want you to understand that it is you that will use that ability to make your work easy. So don't push against it. You are not going to succeed. I promise you, you are not going to succeed. I remember when ATM came out, my mom said, I'm not going to be using ATM. Sorry, that just thing, how can I go to a machine? Da, 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 da. Now she has an ATM machine and she's using it very well. Even if she doesn't, please use my card. She understands that card, use my card to take my this thing, go and withdraw money and all that. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot wish these things away. It is happening. So the smartest ones are people that will, take these things seriously. So let's continue. I've just mentioned the reason why you should take this seriously. This is not a joke, okay? And congratulations, at least people are trying. Then there are billions of people in this world that don't even know what's going on. And it's not about your location. There are still people even in developed world that don't know this thing we are teaching now. That's the truth, whether you like it or not. It's not about your location, right? So for the ChatGPT, when I was ending the last class, somebody mentioned the mobile version of it. So I'm just going to quickly touch the mobile version of it to show you the similarity so that you don't have to panic. Everything I did in the last class is still obtainable here. When you log on to ChatGPT, the difference is that, okay, I'm using the dark mode, okay? So you can see your keyboard there. So unlike this laptop, okay, that gives you a broader canvas, this shortens your this thing, okay? It's in terms, it's in kind of what's it called, portrait and not landscape. Okay, so you can type your chat there, right? Now, for those that saw, when I talked about you can chat with the ChatGPT without recording and filling up your memory. So look at the icon up there. You're going to see the icon up there. All you need to do is to touch it. Okay. Yeah, this is the icon there. If you touch the icon, whatever you want to type, it will type. So a lot of people actually need this. Most of the time, why I'm actually pointing this thing out, most of the time while you are browsing, you don't need to store it. You don't want to ask questions. I give you an example with burnout. I was checking out how, what will I do when I'm burnt out and everything. I didn't need to store it. I just needed information spontaneously, and then I'll continue. So that is very important. I want some of you to know that. So the next is when you touch this, people might be wondering, where am I going to upload? There is a plus button in your chat. So that is not showing everything, okay? So when you touch the plus button, that's when you see you can use your camera to upload. You can go to photos, you can upload files. So those of you that might be asking, so that plus sign, these are things that are hidden under it. In addition to that, take note, you can choose the model of GPT you want, right? Is it model 5 or something like that? You can create an image, right? I don't know the version you're using, but some people are like, where can I create an image? So you can see, create image. So when you touch it, it will change mode. So that when you are giving it a prompt, okay, you understand that what you are looking for is an image. So you see deep research. Deep research now is that there are, because of the pre-trained, and there's a way, this is what they call optimization. Okay, optimization is that there's what they call computing power. They did this in such a way that it will not be using every transfer, every parameter and everything. But if you want a deeper research, okay, you are going to touch that deeper research. You need a detailed report. So it's going to go deeper into the transformer architecture rather than giving you something shallow. My ChatGPT version is 5. Maybe you're not seeing it in your own, but it's okay. Then when you want to do web search, you can see web search there. You can do web search, okay? There is study and learn new concept and stuff like that. Then you see one of the GPTs I added. There's what they call custom GPTs. We treated it. In fact, there's going to be a dedicated class for custom GPTs and gems and the rest of them, because different, we are going to see some of them. That's where you begin to become an expert in the whole thing. So Canva is the one, Lawrence, or I've already integrated, because I do designs as well. You know, you can see you can attach files and stuff like that. Also, for people that are looking for those, the sidebar that was there in the last, all you need to do is to touch, look at that place where I have a red circle. You know, if you're using your phone, touch it. It is going to push out the sidebar. You're not going to see everything I showed you. If you want to go to new charts, okay, let's go to the next one. You know, go to libraries. Okay, this is libraries, right? So this is libraries. Libraries, I showed you that libraries is some of the things, it kind of have an archive where it's stored everything that I have actually. So I can go back in the image. You can see this is exactly what showed up in the web browser view. Okay, I can touch it and do all those things. I'm not going to just repeat what I thought. So the GPTs, let me explain what GPTs are. GPTs are custom. People are using this large language model to build different things. People are integrating different functionalities. People are creating special projects, okay, for you to jump on. The Canva I talked about, see where I picked it up. So I explored the GPTs. I integrated my Canva account to my ChatGPT account. And when you're able to do this thing, it means you are beginning to, you know, master the whole LLM model, because you're going to see it in other ones. So this is where it is located. So for projects also, you can see all the projects that are there that I talked about. So you are not disadvantaged if you are using a phone. You understand? So you can see I have a project. Somebody invited me, Dora Ibezim. I've, you know, accepted her invitation. I'm sure it's one of the assignments. Oluwayemi, and you can see I created KodeCamp the last time, and I added a model to that one. So I have AI, I have my own Lawrence. I created it, you know, today. So you can see, don't panic is the same thing. Okay. If you want to create a new project, right, you see that icon there, the first one, tap on new projects. Okay, it will give you this window. You just give it a name, that's all. Okay, so this is one of the things we did last week, and I told people that when you begin to do this, that's when you know that you are different from every other person that is using, you know, ChatGPT. So there are other things. This is the one that you have to configure settings, right? This Lawrence, you see my name there. So because I've actually logged in, and then when I click on it, you see different things: personalized, app connections, workspace, upgrade to plus, you know, subscription, email, phone number. That's my email, that's my phone number. Judith, your hand is up. You have a question for me?
Yes, sir, I have a question. I didn't get that agent mode in the among the features you were showing. The explanation,
Agent,
please.
Agent mode. Agent mode.
Yes.
Where?
When you click on that plus sign where you have I think let me
This one?
yes, where you have add photos, and after create image, we have agent mode.
Agent mode. Okay,
Yes.
so even if I'm not
When you
seeing it
click on
here,
that
but
plus sign, Mm,
okay, I
okay.
understand what agent. Agent is actually a feature in GPTs or in some of the trends that kind of automates some tasks for you. So agents is you train the agent to
Okay.
do certain things. So why is called agent? In fact, there is a full track in this particular cohort
Okay.
in KodeCamp 5X that what they are doing is agentic. Agent means it's you delegate
Okay.
some responsibilities to it. If you see an email, please, the first thing you do is to respond to the email, depending on you train your agents, right? So that's not is beyond the scope of this our class. Okay, there is a full another thing is that you can equally devote time to go and watch their own videos as well on YouTube, just like some of them are watching our own. So there is a full course on agents. Okay. So yeah, so having said this, I think I'm not going to be doing mobile app and okay, Judith, your hand is up again. Okay,
Sorry, I
is
was
it
trying to bring my hands down.
okay? So we're not going to be doing what's it called? The web version and the mobile. So what I have explained here, trust me, I have done my research. Almost all of them follow the same convention. You understand? The idea of using ChatGPT is just to give you an idea so that you don't panic and say, all these things that they taught, where is it? So if you get some of these things, all of them follow the same pattern because of the way the phone is, the width and the length, the sidebar is actually hidden. When you touch it, it will be to pop out, you know. So that's what we call responsive design for those that do DDI UX, you know. You design for large screen, design for small screen. Okay, so the next one we're going to be looking at is DeepSeek. Okay, DeepSeek, how you get to it is chat.deepseek.com. This is LLM from a Chinese company, or is it from China government? I don't know, but this is it comes from Asia and competing favorably. So when you enter
From a Chinese company, sir.
yeah. So they are competing with the likes of Google and Copilot and all that. So you will notice that I'm not going to go so much deep into this. I want you people to begin to see that all of them are almost the same. You're going to see, you see new charts here. Okay. You see new charts here. You see the no history icon also. You see templates, you see deep thinking. We saw deep research. There's no, all these things are, people are using different nomenclature. Okay, search means web. In ChatGPT, you saw something like search web, right? Then you see this attach button here is, it can be likened to the plus button in ChatGPT. Okay, now you see Lawrence here also. If you click on it, you see certain things, download app, you go to settings, contact us and log. You see, these things are, I'm not going to start teaching DeepSeek, right? I want you to see that this place is where you type your message. See, the idea is that I want everybody here to start getting comfortable with the idea of AI. Whether you like it or not, everybody will, before you know it, everybody will be using this thing. It becomes normal. And then some of you that started on time to master this thing will be like, what were you thinking? Were you living under a rock or something? Because in next 5 years, people will say, this thing you are learning today, somebody will still be asking you this thing in the next 5 years. I'm not kidding you, because there are some people right now that still don't know how to use Microsoft Word. That people from 1995 have already started using. I am not joking. This is real. I am not even talking about people that are not learning. I'm talking about when you go to a company, you see somebody that cannot do PowerPoint. That's the truth. So whether you like it or not, I'm not talking about PowerPoint now. What you are doing now, somebody will be asking you this question in next 10 years. You're like, this in 2025 now. I don't understand. So please, you need to know some of this. You can see that they are all the same, right? Let us go to Perplexity. Perplexity is another large language model too. Again, you see similar stuff. You're going to have ask me anything, on all those kind of things. You see different. You see, and this one now is a bit different from other ones. You see that they will ask you to, most of them will ask you to log in. Not naturally, I use continue with Google because it is easy for me. I use my Google account to log in. So in Perplexity, I just want to highlight some of the differences here. Okay, this first one, let me do some annotation here. This first one now is pointing to this. So that icon, right, is research, which is deep research. You see, DeepSeek is using deep search. ChatGPT is using deep research. This one also, it just showed you an icon without anything. So what that icon means is deep research. So for this one, you might have to upgrade. Look as you say, upgrade to Pro, right? Now you see this other one here. Sorry, this is deep research. This one, this particular one. Now this bulb here is create a project. Now, in ChatGPT, you see project by the side, but this one, create project from scratch. You click on new, it will start creating a folder where you have projects, you can store it there. Now, I'm trying to point out the similarities because I'll be wasting my time if I start teaching you people this one, the other one, the other one. It's a waste of time. Now, you see this one, okay? This one is web search. This icon here is web search. You see that you have web search in ChatGPT, you have web search in what? DeepSeek. Now you have web search here also. Okay. Now this one, okay, is showing you version. We saw this also. You can see you can choose a version you want to use to do the search. What version of Perplexity? Is it Sonar? Is it GPT-5? Is it Cloud Sonnet 5.0, Gemini 2. Now you see that this is even bringing other models into Perplexity, right? Now you have these two. This is for attaching files. You can see in DeepSeek you have the same icon, almost similar, but in ChatGPT you have plus. So this is what attach. So that's the kind of thing you are going to get here. Now, these last two, okay, we have them in ChatGPT. The one with the microphone is what we call dictation. And the one with this voice recorder is now what? This, you can see there's this thing here. Now, somebody might ask, what is the difference between dictation mode and voice mode? The difference is listing in all the GPTs because ChatGPT equally has them. And I think Perplexity, okay, this is Perplexity. Now, dictation simply means you are dictating, like instead of typing the charts, you can speak the chart, the prompts, okay? You can give the prompt using voice. So it will do what we call speech to text and then give you the response. Now, when you talk about voice mode is if you want to kind of have a conversation with it. So it is listening to you and it's going to equally give you back the feedback words in voice, in speech. It's going to use speech to give you the feedback. But when you do dictation, it's going to take your voice picture and then give you the text back. So that's the difference between the what? The one that has microphone and the other one. So now let us go to where you begin to have differences. This Discover, right? It is like a browser. So what they did is that they felt like, okay, maybe we can add browsers here, latest information, weather, and all those type of things. People can actually research something that is specific. So they added Discovery. So you can see this kind of thing in ChatGPT. So if they ask you what's different, ChatGPT, these people are saying maybe somebody that is using ChatGPT might have to go to google.com to go and search something. If we add that feature, we will distinguish ourselves. Well, I don't know whether it works, but that's it. The next one is you are going to have space. Okay, space. This is spaces. Now, these people are using spaces. Spaces is similar. Let me read what space is so that you can understand what we're talking about. Spaces are like small AI-powered apps. Pay attention, okay? Or environment built inside Perplexity to perform specific tasks. They combine prompts, dataset tools, and instruction into a usable setup. So what you are doing is like you are trying to generate a template. Now, in addition, remember we talked about GPTs, custom GPTs, and GEMs in the last class. So instead of these people using the word GPT or GEMs, they are using spaces. So think of it like a ChatGPT GPTs. Okay, you know what I mean now, ChatGPT GPTs. In Perplexity, what you can do, okay, in space, number one, you can give some custom prompts and store it there and instruction. You can connect to external resources, okay? You can use tools like web search, code interpreter, and all that. You can save your work there for repeated tasks. So you can actually build an agent here, but I'm not going to because I want to limit my scope to what we have here, and you can use it to share in the public. So you can create your own space. You can see here, it is equally, these people are combining the power of GPTs in ChatGPT and also projects. So they don't have projects here, right? So when you say new space, what you are eventually doing is that you are creating a project just like ChatGPT. So you give it a name and all that and begin to. So these people are using threads. Threads are terms that are used for collaborative workspaces like Discord, Slack. There's what they call thread channels and stuff like that. So these people are taking that convention of when you start a thread, like you are starting a conversation. So the thread will have just like in the Discord, that all of us belong to a particular Discord. They use what they call server. From server, you now have channels and stuff like that. All of us, you can see if I drop a message, I'm not going to drop my message in another thread. I'm going to drop it in our own. So these people are adopting that kind of convention. So Perplexity equally has finance. So these people are overdoing their own share small. They have finance. You can check all the Bitcoin and everything. So they feel like very soon, these are some of the features they are trying to test out to make whatever that can make people leave the competing platforms and everything. You can see their plans and all that. So for their setting, very interesting things that are there. I will touch on very specific ones. Accounts is normal accounts, preference, whether dark mode or light mode and everything. Personalized. Now, I want to talk about personalized. You need to remember I talked about giving, when we started this class, I wanted to know who I am talking with, the number of people that are joining the class, who gave me some. So this is a place, just like in ChatGPT, there was a place I said you can actually talk about do you know what it does? It profiles you. And sometimes, based on your career, what you have told it about yourself, it is going to use it to kind of tailor this thing so that it can be more accurate and has context to what you are searching for. So, if you are an engineer, it knows that I am talking with an engineer. If you leave it, it will not know you. So this personalized area is something that we need to, sorry, hold on. Where's my mouse? So yeah, I'm talking about this one. Okay. So it's part of the settings here. Look at this. Okay, so we have assistant. This one will help you keep your information, but I've highlighted the major thing here, that personalization. So where is it? You need to what? If you go back now, you see you need to touch your so your accounts, okay? When you touch this place, it opens it up for you. So that's where to get it. So you don't have to look for it. So I'm just going to jump everything. And another thing I want to highlight is connection. This is equally important. Okay. These people are beginning to have some form of divergence. This connection, you can connect to your Gmail, you can connect to your calendar, you can connect to your WhatsApp as well. I just have to mention this, okay? In case tomorrow you might have a need. So it's part of the very, very, very important areas that I have to touch. So now let us go to Meta. Okay, Meta is from Facebook. Again, is www.meta.ai. So their own, you see, very simple interface. You have new charts, vibes, and create. Okay, what is new chart? You can see it's already there. This is the new chart. You just normal chart. You see again, it's similar. You have what? Plus here, ask me anything, create a video star, blah, blah, blah. The next one, I'm not going to go into this chart because there's no more difference between that one and ChatGPT. So the vibes, okay. What is the vibes? No, the vibes is uh okay, this is just the steps you take. You put your number. Okay, to create an account. Yeah, I'm going to just rush through this one. You put your number, you put your create an account, put your date of birth, then you put your username, and then they will send you a verification code to your email. Everybody knows this. I'm not going to teach this. So this is where I'm talking about. Sorry, we have the chat. This is normal chat. Create a video, style a picture, and all those things. This thing is for you to go and test out, right? The next one is what? The vibes. So the vibes is creating videos, right? So you can type this thing, ask anything. So vibes is actually new thing. This is, of course, they are competing. So vibes is create all these short videos. Somebody has seen Wike fighting with the soldier and all that. These are things that they use. You see, somebody created a video saying a tiger chasing or something, or a female selling in Lagos. So most of those videos you see that looks very real or something, you can see that some people are using vibes. So I'm now giving you some of the secrets that they kind of use. So these are actually videos. I'm going to probably, if I have time, I can show you, but this is just a class. And if you kind of pay attention, I think you can try out some of these things. So create is about picture. So Facebook kind of arrange themselves in a way that the first one is text, Meta is Facebook share. The second one is video, and the last one is image. So you can see their own LLM is a bit different from other people's own. Okay. So now I am actually rushing. So this is 11 after 8. So I want to do the task review, right? Well, I want to make some corrections before we end the class. So that's why I kind of gave it some time. So yes, some of us, the task I give, I want to kind of give me a moment, I'll share the screen again. So I'll kind of put, because it seems there's a little bit of confusion with the task. So let me put it clear now. Trying to rush against time so that I can meet up. So please confirm that the screen is visible. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me go to the tax. So this is the tax, okay? No, tax. Okay, so there are two tasks. In the first one, 111 people. Second one, 20. Okay, more people have submitted. So I want to go to the second one, you understand? Because tomorrow is the deadline, so that at least I use this opportunity to kind of put people through. So what does the task say? This is the general instruction for all participants, okay? Using the prompting. So there was a class I did on prompting, to help people kind of make their prompting very effective and all that. And we kind of looked at some concept, clarity, content, blah, blah, blah. So these are some of the things that we touched, okay? Each group should create one original prompt. This is the instruction. And you see, in every instruction, there's always a key thing. Create one original prompt relevant to their group's focus area. That is the main thing. Your prompt all these things are just additional instruction. We taught crisp, ace, and trace in the last class. Include specific context, expected outcome, from all these things that I taught. I just wanted you to apply it, okay? Then when you finish, share the prompt link on KodeCamp LMS for submission, just like we did before. Now, group one. So you don't need to do all these things. People were asking, I like group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, do group one. I'm not going to come to your ChatGPT and say, why are you doing group 1, 4, 5, 6? No. You understand? I'm interested in the one you are submitting, and that's the one I'm going to use and grade you. So I'm not going to give extra mark if you did like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So honestly, I am not saying that this grouping is perfect. This grouping is based on the feedback. I equally use ChatGPT, and I use ChatGPT to kind of, I say, look at this. I gathered a lot of inputs. Some people submitted, some people did not. I remember I asked in the group, why are you here? What do you want to do? And so I collated that information, and I now use AI to kind of group all of us. Okay. So having done that, what I need is that in case you are in doubt, we created a form so that use your hand, okay, and put yourself in the group that you want to. So that form was shared. I think we should be shared in Mole because people can redo. The assignment is still open. People can redo. So when that form is shared, you see that there's no place for you to choose more than one group. So choose one group that you're going to be using for the assignment. So example, if you choose group 1 are for product design, UX people, product management people, okay? What is their task? Now, their task is, I will scroll up again, create one original prompt. That is your task. And that original prompt is going to address what? Create a detailed persona, okay, and feature list for a digital product that helps, in bracket, target audience, solve, in bracket, specific problem, include user goals, frustrations, and recommended. Take your time. I want you to develop an original prompt. That's the idea. Okay, I just gave you like a clue, it can be fictional. Okay, so group 2, there are people in business operation and marketing. So you notice that each of this group, what we are looking for from you is to develop a prompt that will solve problem in the area of your interest. That's all. This one I say generate step-by-step AI assisted marketing campaign plan for, again, in quotes, specific product and services. It can be anything. It can be campaign plan for a music event. It can be a campaign plan for launching a particular product. So you need to be creative. Remember, what I'm pushing people to do is you need to think outside the box and become more creative. Okay. So as so on and so forth. Group 3, design a creative brief for a brand campaign using AI tools like Midjourney or ChatGPT. I've not taught Midjourney, so you can narrow down ChatGPT, include different things, slogan, and blah, 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 blah. I am challenging the graphics guys, the videographers, and everything. I'm challenging you to be creative, okay? Finance, I think there's only one person that is in this group. Act as a financial analyst, review this sample data set. So now you can get a sample data set of financial summaries from somewhere. Okay, let it give you insight. So you could see that in your workplace, maybe your 2025, this thing that the year is ending, you can check what happened in different quarters, and something you could not have done on your own because you want to be relevant in that particular office. You can begin to generate. I told you that there was someone that, I don't know whether it's in this class I told that story. The Oga said that is actually Shell, okay? Somebody was coming for president. Their one expatriate is coming, and they handed the thing over to him. Everybody thought he was going to fail, but the people don't know that the guy has ChatGPT. So he was able to get the information and attached it and told ChatGPT to develop a slide that will highlight. He was very specific. Yeah, I'm going to come to that. So, having said all these things, right? I'm looking at time. I might not go through all these things. So now let me look at the LMS, right? If you check the submission, I have more. Some people's submission, let me not go there because I might show some people's scores here. So let me respect people's privacy, okay? But I'm going to now stop sharing again and then share my observation. Okay, just give me a minute. I'm going to share my observation in the next, this is 2019. I have like 5 minutes to go. So if you can see the screen, let me continue. So here is my observation. First of all, Ifeoluwa, this is one of the challenges I'm having with the first track. Some people have not marked their first track. I just decided to bring this out also so that you can take note of it. So when I want to access your project is inaccessible or not found, ensure you are using the right account. The usual suspect here is that you have that link you shared, you have not made it accessible. I'm going to rush. I'm going to come back to it, okay? Now, someone also, this is the submission. Yes, I can access it, but I don't know why your prompt, if you remember, I said generate an original prompt. It's the prompt I want to see. I don't want to see the answer. I want to see how you came up with your prompt. So somebody say, I just entered your own this thing that I shared with you. I'm seeing here is formal, well-structured, submission-ready version of your product design assignment. Where is your prompt? It's not here. Okay? So you need to take note of this. Waiting be this. Waiting be, whoever submitted this thing, you know yourself. I don't want to call it, but you know yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, we said create an original prompt. You can see the original prompt this person created. His original prompt is general instruction for all participants. Oh boy, this person just copied the assignments, came here and dumped it. Using prompt principle taught in the class. Is this your prompt? Clarity, context, instruction, hierarchy, constraint, example, interact. Oh boy, this guy downloaded exactly everything from me. Group 1, even added group 1 product design. Oh, I don't fit laugh. I beg. This is not it. And now he ended with use this prompt above. Which prompt above? You know yourself, whoever that is responsible for this, you understand? You are going to redo this assignment. This one no be say they go give you 1 or something, Somebody say garbage in, garbage out. My brother, na complete garbage in, garbage out. Okay, so what this person has done is not the assignment at whatever you've done. Now you sabi. Okay, Let me continue. The next person, again, listen, creates a step-by-step AI assistant. This person tries more, copy. You understand? What the person did was just to replace this guy. This person, a smart person, Joycey Perfume Limited, and then replace what is inside this place global. But my sister, this is not your original what prompt. I no agree. You need to think more, okay? You need to think more about this thing. Now, I just look this person, sha. This person kind of why I like the second one. I don't like how he started. Because I gave you a scenario for you to generate an original prompt. You just started with what are the importance of what are the importance of using a strong password? Is this what I looked for? No. But when I came here, I wrote a Python code today to check this thing. This seems like what I'm looking for. So this guy, that's why it's not bad. I just did look, I'm sure. But I hope he understands. So this is a programmer. He said something and he gave a concept of what he did and now asked ChatGPT. So yeah, this is an original prompt. So it's not that bad. This guy is this is a second person that copied exactly. How can you start with general instruction for all participants? Whenever I see this, I just laugh. Which one be general like this thing? So again, clarity concept. This person copied the whole assignment like this and dropped this. Of course, ChatGPT always reply you now. He will drop something to reply you. So I don't need to waste time here. I think I've mentioned it. This person again, even though it did not start with general assignment, she said group 3. Create media, this one is per prompts. I don't understand what's going on here. First of all, immediately I say I saw group 3. You understand? Do you think ChatGPT knows that you're in group 3? Which one is group 3 again? Okay. So reference the image and logo. So this one somehow I like it, but I don't this beginning part. What do you mean by group 3? As far as ChatGPT is concerned. Okay, so take note. Based on the learner expectation outlined in good, this is similar to the other one. Please, what is KC5X? Is it a project that you are referring to? Okay. I don't know what you are referring to here, but I just look you shy. It's not bad, but make sure you know what you are referencing here. Okay, because again, context. Does ChatGPT know about KC5S if it is not a project in your account? If you have not created a project or you uploaded a document, I can forgive this if you actually uploaded it. But if you just came up with this is wrong. Okay, this is wrong. This one, another one. Do you know that prompt principle includes? I don't know what you are getting at here. Is this your original prompt? Do you know that prompt principle? You want ChatGPT to tell you yes or no? And one prompt should clearly define AI, blah, 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 blah. To include specific content. Are you telling ChatGPT to do your assignment for you? This one, that's what I'm reading. Be tested, refined, and you are transferring your responsibility. I like this exercise because it's beginning to bring out some of the things that we need to do. Okay. I just look you. See, this particular person, the only thing I pointed out here is a lot of you are a senior developer. Is it the ChatGPT that is a senior developer or you? So context matters. I'm a senior developer. I am trying to do this. Can so why are you telling ChatGPT that he is a senior developer, an automation specialist? Biko, be careful. Okay, these are the small things that you need to Again, the same thing. You are a product manager. You are a product manager. ChatGPT is now a product manager. We just dey look people shy. Good. Not everybody. I like see act as even though this one get careless. Okay, customer service strategist and automation expert. Your task is to design a detailed automation, even though you are still using here. But I like this. You see what they call contest. The company receives a lot of. This is what I want you people to do, for goodness sake. It's usually interesting to me. It is triggering my curiosity. I have 2 minutes. It's triggering my curiosity. The company receives, giving me more details, tracking all that, blah, blah, blah. Please include a breakdown of customer support. They recommend the tools. And I like this. This look at this other person. Design a creative brief for a design product for Fares. This is you're not putting in brackets this, you understand? A tech startup company and all that. I like this. Hi chat. This one say hi chat is nice. Create a detailed persona and feature list for a revamped website. This is typical. I like this. Act as a digital customer support assistant with this in Nigeria, a premium exotic car rental company and everything. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to, okay, Lydia, your hand is up. Quickly, we have a few seconds remaining.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, please, for my assignment, I actually submitted the assignment, but I mistakenly deleted the link to I deleted the assignment on my chat GPT. So, but then I did another one. I don't know if I tried resubmitting it, but I could not.
Imole, answer this question. Sorry, quickly. How does it work?
All right. So she deleted the whole assignment on her own ChatGPT. So if you click the link, you're not going to see anything. So it literally like I'll reach out to you on what we can do about that because we have to leave this call.
All right.
So please don't for that.
All right,
Don't
we have to
the assignment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a cash prize next week. We are going to share a form for you to apply. We are going to be voting. I'm going to compile it. We are going to be voting people by in our next class on Tuesday. The best 5. You guys are going to entertain us. You are going to present your idea on Thursday. So next week is going to be a crazy idea contest. Thank you very much for joining the call. See you next class. All right. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you.